company during the holidays, don't we? Just come on over, everybody. You know what company we don't want to come into the holidays would be the bugs, the rats, the spiders, the cockroaches, and yet they'd love to join us during the holiday season, wouldn't they? Well, we don't want them, and we're going to get rid of them tonight. And to me, I'll tell you what, I think this really would make a great gift. I mean, seriously, it's one of those gifts that if you have something really hard to buy for, and anybody who has a house, and anybody who happens to have any kind of bugs in their life, which we all do, this would be a brilliant gift idea. Or if you really want to help get rid of those guys in your home, pay attention to what's happening right now. We have, for a holiday price, a brand new configuration we're launching tonight. This is the first time you can get it. It's the most fully featured pest repellent configuration that we have ever done. It includes the famous night lights that people love, the auxiliary outlets that people want, and you get 5 of the ultrasonic pest repellers with the LED lights in our configuration. Now, if you've seen this before, this is your stock-up night. If you have never seen this, Lou Caputo is coming in because he's going to tell you exactly what it's all about. Hello, Lou.
Hey, Suzanne, how are you?
Holidays coming.
Holidays are coming.
We love certain types of company.
Certain company we like, other company we don't like so much.
Rats. I don't really want rats for Thanksgiving.
No, the rats, the mice, we don't want any of them, no. Oh, and that's what these do. These are the Bell & Howell pest repellers right here. They're ultrasonic pest repellers. They're the humane way to rid your house of rats, mice, ants, roaches, and spiders from the localized area where they're working. Now, how do they do that? Well, they use ultrasonic sound waves. Bell & Howell, company that's been around for over 100 years, they've won awards for work with sound. Well, guess what? These are like little tiny speakers. They emit those ultrasonic sound waves. Here's what happens. They come out, the minute you plug them in, they start working instantly. And those sound waves start bouncing off of any solid surface they encounter. So walls, doors, furniture, anything like that, they're going to bounce around the room, which is why I always tell people, put them out in the open. Now, you're getting 5 in this set. That's enough to do 1 floor of the average size house. So if you live in a multi-story dwelling, take advantage of the pricing today. Get more than 1 set of these. But think about how much money you spend on pest control, how much money you spend paying somebody to come spray your house or
set traps
or anything like that. When you plug these in, they start working instantly. You know what I love about these? There's no batteries to replace. There's nothing you ever have to refill or replenish. They just go on and on and oh, and these have the night lights in them too. The LED white lights on these. Now, I'm going to show you how these work real quick. Let me see. I'm going to do 50-50 shot, top or bottom. Oh, I guessed wrong. Okay, they're down here. Okay, now what I'm doing right now is I'm uncovering the photocell that's on top of these. Okay, the photocell senses when there's light in the room. So when it's dark out, your LED lights are going to come on. When the lights are on, the LED lights go off. So you can actually use these. Yeah, you can actually use these as night lights anywhere in your house. The kitchen, the bathroom, put them in the hallways, by the stairs, all those places where you're thinking, you know what, it'd be really great to have a night light here. And because they're silent, you can't hear them, I can't hear them, your pets can't hear them. The only thing that hears them are the rats, the mice, the ants, the roaches, and the spiders.
Right.
Those are the guys.
Nobody hears them, except they do. And you said this a moment ago, and I think it's worth repeating. It's the humane way of doing it. Because there's nothing worse. Okay, let's do the famous sound. You ready?
Oh, you want the sound?
Let's set this, not yet. Set the stage. We're sleeping at night. La, 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 la. And then you hear this. Oh, you know what's just happened.
Yep.
You know that there's a big, hairy, dirty something or other trapped in there.
Yep.
And most likely it's got its neck or its back snapped.
Yeah.
And then you look at each other and go,
You're doing it, yeah.
And I think that's
not gonna be me.
And it's a horrible feeling because you really are killing an animal. And it's a very cruel way of doing it.
Yeah.
And this is dangerous. I don't want my pets. I don't want my children around this.
I don't even want to bait it. I don't want to set it.
I don't want to touch it.
It's scary, yeah.
Right.
Well, and here's the thing, okay, now, when you get your Bell & Howell pest repeller, it takes care of all those things. But look at everything I have on the table here that you can spend a lot of money on if you want to. And here's the crazy thing, okay? If you've got, let's say ants, or roaches rather, you've got to come somewhere in this column. And you can buy traps, and you can buy little sticky things, and sprays, and foggers, and all kinds of things. Right. If you've got ants, we've got things you can stick in the ground, and we've got little liquid baits here, and we've got some other,
I swear, every time you come here, you got more.
I do. I keep going out and buying stuff. Now, when you get down to the rats and the mice, though, that's where it gets really scary, because you got this one we just talked about. You hear that sound in the middle of the night. You get your little sticky pads right here. And of course, what happens with those, the rats or the mice get stuck to this. They die of dehydration or starvation, and you can actually hear them screaming.
Or they're trying to chew their legs off.
Yeah, they do that. I mean, it's horrible. And then you got, I'm not going to touch these, but I want to push these up here a little bit. Okay. Then you've got the poisons, okay? And these poisons here, these look like little pieces of toffee or
like
saltwater.
Treats.
Or dog treats. This looks like kitty litter over here. Now, same thing, but they make it look like that because they want the rats and mice mice to think that it's food or candy, okay? But guess what? Your kids and your pets, they don't know the difference.
Right.
So, and the worst part is, when they eat this stuff, and I was just talking about this with Chris, when they eat this, they go into your walls, your ceiling, your floors, or couch, and they die. And when they die, the smell is unbelievable, and it stays for about 6 weeks. When you get your Bell & Howell Pest Repeller and you plug this in, you don't have any of that. You don't have to buy any poisons. There's no foggers. You don't have to worry about baiting traps. You don't have to worry about killing anything. They work completely silently, and they work on 5 very specific things. And I always say this, Suzanne, they work on rats, mice, ants, roaches, and spiders. Now, why do I say that? Because HSN Legal Department challenged Bell & Howell, and they said, listen, we need you to go out and give us independent third-party laboratory testing, which they did. And that's what it showed, was that it works against these 5 particular things: rats, mice, ants, roaches, and spiders from the localized area in which they're working.
Right. Well, and think about this. How do you get rid of spiders? You know, we can talk about, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but, you know, spider trap, anybody heard of that? They have them out there, but they're ridiculous. Do you have your little triangular spider trap?
Actually, I do.
Sure.
I have this.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
It's basically a piece of paper with some sticky stuff inside of it.
I wish I would have invented that.
But supposedly the spider just happens to wander through this and get caught.
I want a little shelter, and I'm going to get inside there.
Isn't the spider the one that makes the traps? Don't they build the webs? I think they're smarter than this.
They probably are.
But, you know, that's the thing, though, is that, you know, you got your good spiders, you know, got spiders that take care of other things, and then we've got the poisonous spiders. Right. But regardless, it seems nobody cares. They don't want them in their house. Either way, you don't want them in your house. No other way to get rid of them. Ask your exterminator next time how they would get rid of spiders. Right. It's a whole big thing.
Well, and here's the thing. What is so nice about this, you plug it in, you forget about it.
Yeah.
And if you have it, we'd love to hear from you. We have time to take some phone calls because we have so many happy people who've actually picked these up, and we love your stories. We have people talk about their attics. You ever sit at your house at night, and it's happened to me, and it's really quiet because I stay up pretty late because of my crazy schedule, and you hear this.
Hello?
Yeah, and you're like, oh my gosh, it is in my walls. We don't know what it is. It could be a squirrel, it could be a rat. We don't know what it is. It's probably a rat. In my case, it's rats. And you're just like, oh, that's so creepy because they're living and moving and being in your house. Well, again, plug it in. Guess what? It could be in the attic. You could put these down in the basement. You could put them in any room that you'd like to help get rid of those pests. But what's nice about it is it's so convenient. It's so easy. It's so effortless to be able to really take care of stuff that's kind of gross. I mean, one time when I was really young, I was living in my first apartment. I was over at Penn State University living in an apartment. And I'll tell you, I didn't have a single stitch of food because I was young and no money and no food in my house. But the people around me used to cook really, really foreign stuff. And there were so many cockroaches. And one time I came home from work, and I know it wasn't my space I was living in because I had no food.
Yeah.
It was who was living around me.
That's what always happens.
I flicked on the light, no lie, probably 200 to 300 roaches scattered when I flicked on the light. And they were coming from the walls from the families around me who had tons of like really spicy, weird food. And so again, my gosh, it might not be you. You might not be the dirty one in your apartment or your condo building.
Right.
It could be coming from other people.
No, and that's what I always tell people is put these in there and control your personal environment because you can't control what other people do for anything. So this is like a little force field. And look at the way those waves work. They literally come out of the unit and bounce off of the walls and coat the entire area. So if any place that you've got power, if it's an RV that's, you know, powered, if you've got a boat, if you have a shed or a barn, something that's not necessarily attached to the house, you can put those in there as well and let them work. And if you live in a high-rise building, you just way up high, like Suzanne was just talking about, you need them for that. Dorm rooms, assisted living facilities, all these places. You know what the very best pest deterrent is? Us, human beings. They will not come around us, okay? Right. But when we're not there, say you've got a summer house, say you've got a ski lodge, say you've got, you know, someplace where you don't go all the time.
Your RV.
Your RV.
In storage.
You definitely want to put these in there because since you're not around, you know, the pests are going to come in, they're going to have an absolute field day. Now, winter is coming. We know all the almanacs are predicting it's going to be a really, really cold winter, okay? What happens in the wintertime to all the rats, the mice, the ants, the roaches, spiders? They want someplace to go where there's food, where there's water, and there's heat. Guess who has all those things? You do in your house. That's why you need to get these. And I want you to think about this, too. Your Bell & Howell Pest Repellers are a preventive measure, okay? They stop an infestation from happening because anytime something comes in the house, it might stay for a little while, but they're going to leave. We don't know what these sound like. We think it might sound like fingernails on a chalkboard or a siren to them. We know that they don't like it and they will leave. Now, everything on the table in front of me, guess what? This is after you got a problem. You know, you've already got an infestation. If you're walking through your hardware store and you're asking them, hey, where's the roach stuff or where's the rat stuff? You know, if you're looking for that, you've already got a big problem. Okay.
Right.
You know, and now I'll tell you how you can save money too. I used to pay a pest control company to come out to my house and walk around and spray what they call a barrier pest protection, okay? Basically, just do poison, spray poison at your house. Yeah. Well, guess what? I still got a rat in my garage. You know how he did it? Tree. Dropped off the tree, went across the roof, went through one of the eaves. It was a fruit rat, right? He goes in there, ate my air conditioning hoses. Yes. So not only did I have to pay an exterminator to come out and get rid of the rat, which, P.S., we didn't find till a year later when my wife was moving something in the garage. That was gross. But I had to pay all that money for the air conditioning, too. If I just had one of these in my garage 2 years ago before I started selling them, it would have saved me a lot of money.
Well, I watched those home improvement shows, and they went into an attic of one of the homes, and it was so bad. It cost thousands of dollars. The rats had nested and had eaten through all the what's that silver stuff with the piping thing?
All the ductwork, yeah.
They went through all the ductwork, and the people said, "Look, you're going to spend thousands to fix this," and they had to fix it because it's part of their heating and their air conditioning unit. This is such a simple, easy way to be able to fix that issue. Something else to think about too is, do you have someone who has a problem like that? Maybe you already have a set and you love them. What a great time to stock up. It's got the nightlight feature that everybody loves. It's really nice. And also you're getting a 5-pack. So if it is going to be kind of, I got that person it's hard to buy for and I don't know what to get them, I think this actually would be a really good gift. Or maybe you slip one in a couple different stockings or split them up if you want to. Remember, basically, though, it's one per room. So if you have a 2-story house, you want to get 2 sets, it's just a good time to do it because it's a brand new configuration and it's a nice price.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too is they're unobtrusive. I mean, you walk into somebody's house, you see one of these bad boys lying around, you know there's an issue, okay? You see one of our pest repellers, it looks like an air freshener. It could be, an air cleaner, a nightlight. It could be almost anything. And that's the great thing about them. And the best thing though, I'm kind of lazy by nature. So if I don't have to bait a trap, if I don't have to worry about, gee, I got to go out and buy more bug spray or poison or something like that, I'm kind of busy coming back and forth here. It's nice to have something that I can just plug in and forget that it's there. And I love these nightlights because those LEDs are so bright on these that, put them in your hallway, your bathroom. If the little kids are getting up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water or something, it's going to light their way while it's repelling the pests.
Sure, and even your guests, your company, it's always helpful for that. Now, here's another thing, too. How many of you have opened up the drawer of your silverware drawer, like your nicer and stuff, and you've lifted them up and you've seen one leg? Like a little cockroach leg. If you've seen one leg, trust me, there's tons of legs rolling around. Or this is the worst. You open up your cabinet, you haven't really pulled anything out in a while, and you pull it clear to the back, and you see little droppings, little poopies of the mice or the rats. That's disgusting because they're trailing behind your food and pooping along the way, basically, and I'm sure they're nibbling on some of it. Or you ever open your dog food bag? You look down, all of a sudden, you're like, there's a hole. That means you have a mouse or a rat that's chewing in there to get food from the dog food bag. How do you get rid of all of that? And how do you do it in a very economical and a much more humane and healthier way? Healthier for the animals and healthier for your family. It sits right here. And we have sold, how many at this point?
Oh my God, too many to count.
I mean, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands. And why not get them tonight? Because believe it or not, even though when it gets cold, those little critters actually come indoors.
They do.
As opposed to hanging out outdoors. And it's typically the bigger critters.
Yeah, it is. Big furry ones.
The ones that really grush out.
Yeah.
Look, Caputo, he's not going anywhere, by the way. We have the multi-cleaner coming up. That's nice. That's actually next, so stay with us.